Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the Music Mondays podcast. I'm your host, Zom Slays. Welcome on in, my friends. Happy Monday. It is July 22nd, 2024. Hope we're well. Hope we're chilling. How we doing, man? What's cracking? Got quite the show stacked for you guys today. Much to talk about, much to discuss. I have, a couple topics that I really wanted to go over today. Definitely some shit to be discussed today. But per usual, like I said, and with that said, I'm your host Tom Slays. Welcome on in. Happy Monday, man. What's cracking? Hope we all had a good week. This is episode 183, actually. 183. Closing in on the big 200, which is gonna be pretty sick. I'm definitely excited. But yeah, so we're gonna go over some weekly recap jazz. We're gonna do some discussion segments, and then we're gonna get into some reactions and review. Let's get into it. So, let's go over some weekly recap jazz, and then let's continue. Sam's Raps, what's good? I hope you're well. Welcome on in. Happy Monday. Let's get it, baby. Good morning, young man. Let's fucking go, Drum Eyes. Hope you're well. Good morning. What's cracking? Okay, so weekly recap stuff, and then we'll continue on. So per usual, Music Money's basic logo t-shirts are in stock right now. So if you'd like to purchase one, definitely let us know. We still have smalls, mediums, and larges available. So make sure you grab those and let us know if you'd like to purchase one. You'll see some promo go up for that this week or the following week. We have a couple of ideas going around with the rest of this merch, so got a couple ideas spinning around, but that's available right now per usual. And then we kicked off Tuesday with early access Music Mondays Patreon content. Per usual, if you're subscribed to the Music Mondays Patreon at any tier, you have access to all of our content early. We pretty much post everything on the Patreon before it goes live, including articles, playlists, the Music Mondays podcast, of course. So many other things are available on our Patreon. So keep that in mind and definitely go check out our Patreon for other exclusive goodies. And a huge shout out to all of our patrons as well, man. All you guys are fucking amazing. Thank you. Had to tweet the stream out. We are live. But outside of that, we kicked off Wednesday with SoundCloud Sunday submissions. Those open every single Wednesday, and the playlist drops on Sunday. So you have probably about like 5 or so days to get your submissions in. So that's usually our Wednesday. So again, make sure you keep your eyes peeled for that if you're ever interested in SoundCloud Sunday. We kicked off Thursday with episode 182 of the Music Mondays podcast, available on all audio platforms, including Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, all that good jazz. So you can go check that out, available everywhere. And of course, it's on YouTube. Well, huge shout out to everybody that submitted and came through to episode 182. You guys are awesome. Much love. That was a banger episode last week, to be honest with you. Definitely one of my favorites within the last couple weeks, for sure. And then we actually dropped a brand new YouTube video. We drop videos every Thursday and Saturday. Last week we spoke a little bit about Cyberfest and how that goes down. What is Cyberfest? What is a virtual festival? So many other things, right? So that YouTube upload is available right now. That dropped on Thursday, along with episode 182. So again, make sure you go check out the channel, go show those videos and these artists some love on the channel. And again, we're pushing towards 290 subscribers, man. So make sure you sub to the channel if you haven't already, because we do drop every Thursday and Saturday. So that was Thursday. We usually have a pretty stacked Thursday, if I'm being honest with you. And then we rolled into Friday with a brand new article by the homie Layla. It was actually a wonderful think piece. Jesus, we dropped a banger on Friday. Yeah, you definitely gotta go check out this piece, bro. This is a really informative piece on Afro beats and kind of the whole lore behind that particular sound, and it's just a really good read. Not super long either, so definitely go check that out and go show Layla some love, because it's a fucking banger for sure. Written by Music Money staff writer Layla, of course. And then that was Friday. And then we rolled into Saturday with a brand new Music Mondays staff announcement. We'd like to welcome Paisley to the Music Mondays writing team. You'll be seeing a lot of pieces from them. There's somebody that is also in the middle of college and just a young, hungry writer that's looking for a place to kind of double down. You know what I mean? So, welcome Paisley to the Music Mondays staff team. That is awesome. Let's fucking go. And then Saturday, of course, we dropped episode 182 of the Music Mondays podcast on YouTube as well. So if you prefer to watch the show on YouTube, you can expect those every single Saturday. If you prefer to watch the show anywhere else, Spotify, or you just like the audio versions, those drop every Thursday. But episode 182 of the Music Mondays podcast is available on our YouTube channel right now. So definitely go check that out. Go show all those artists some love. And go show the channel some love, man. You guys know the drill. Let's see here. So that was Saturday. A couple really good announcements on Saturday, and then we went into Sunday and we dropped SoundCloud Sunday Volume 144. That was curated by myself. I did the art this week as well. Huge shout out to everybody that did submit last week. Huge shout out to everybody that supported the playlist as well, man. Again, you can expect those every single Sunday. You guys know the drill. And just to reiterate, if you're looking for submissions, submissions open every single Wednesday for SoundCloud Sunday, so make sure you get your tracks in every Wednesday. But 144 is available right now. So run that up, go show that some love, and huge shout out to every artist that made the cut. Closing in on 150 is also pretty crazy there too, I won't lie. I spoke a little bit about this last week, but you know, big boy numbers for sure. So yeah, that was your weekly recap though. That's pretty much everything that happened at Music Mondays over the course of the last week or so. We're ironing out some other details as far as bigger stuff goes, but that's like kind of the gist of the last week or so. I had to get the new staff member settled in, so a couple things going around at Music Mondays in the background for sure. So, outside of the weekly recap, let's talk about what's coming on Music Mondays over the course of the next week or so. Let's talk some updates. We're going to have a quick discussion segment. It might not be quick just because this is a topic that I really want to put on the channel, and it's a topic that I think needs like a lot more clarity, but we'll talk about that in a few minutes. So, what's coming up on Music Mondays over the course of the next week or so? Let's talk about it. Let's get into it. But first, we're sipping this coffee. All right. So, let's get into it. All right. So, per usual, Music Mondays is recruiting. We are still on the hunt for all of our staff roles. If you're interested in writing, journalism, designing, curating short form and long form media content, definitely let us know because we are looking to fill all of our staff roles for all of those. So send us an email, send me a message, send anybody a message if that's something you're interested in for Music Mondays or you want to know more about the Music Mondays staff team. Definitely send us a message and we'd be happy to have a conversation with you for sure. So Music Mondays is recruiting. Music Mondays is also on the hunt for SoundCloud exclusives. If you have an unreleased track that you'd like to have hosted and promoted on the Music Mondays SoundCloud and for free, and of course hosted and promoted and across all of our socials, definitely let us know. We are interested in the unreleased version of your track. So again, if you feel like you want to distro your track or you want to go put it on Spotify or things like that, definitely feel free. We are only interested in the SoundCloud version. So again, if you have an unreleased track that you'd like to have us host and promote, definitely let us know because that'd be something we'd be happy to do because we are on the hunt. Same thing for YouTube as well. If you have a lyric video, a music video, you want audio hosted on the Music Mondays YouTube channel, definitely send us a message about that as well if that's something you're interested in. Of course, for free, hosted and promoted across all of our socials. So that goes for both YouTube and SoundCloud. So let us know. We're only interested in unreleased material as just a way to show some love to all of our supporters, show you guys some love, and give back to the communities that we have on SoundCloud and YouTube, right? Because we have a ton of YouTube content. I just would like to do a more music like actual song related content on YouTube as well. Because we posted like a couple lyric videos, done a visual, so that's something that I always wanted to like continue to dive into. But again, if that's something that interests you, definitely let us know because we'd be happy to work that out with you. So, exclusives, YouTube, SoundCloud, recruiting. Those two things out the way. Let's talk about what's coming on Music Mondays over the course of the next week or so. I had some obviously minor things come up. I had to get a new staff member settled in. We're gonna work them into the memo, get them ready and set up for some content. And of course, like you guys know, it's like sort of heading towards the end of July ish. So we're still kind of planning out the details of Cyberfest 2. And we did that video last week on really what is Cyberfest and kind of the concept behind a virtual festival and things like that. So Cyberfest is pretty much at the forefront, man. We're dealing with a lineup right now. Like I said, over the next couple weeks, we're going to be in contact with a lot of artists. For some people that I know would want sets, I know would like to perform, and things like that. And then we're going to turn to the community and see who the community would like on Cyberfest too, right? So yeah, a couple things in the air when it comes down to that, but we're using the rest of July to kind of iron out all the details when it comes to final dates, lineups. We're trying to get a couple sponsors as well, show some brands some love, really make like a big event out of this. So we're really planning on ironing out the rest of those details, like I said, over the course of the next couple weeks. But that'll be like our next like major event. And then the Music Mondays Patreon will be getting a little bit of an update. I thought of some more goodies to give all of our Patreons at every tier, right? So even if you're subscribed at whatever tier you're subscribed at, we thought of a couple more bonuses for you guys, just to make your pledges to the Patreon a little bit more sweeter too, right? So we're gonna be hooking up the Patreons and giving that a little bit more of a like a makeover. And Patreon actually dropped some wonderful new tools as well. So that'll be really cool. So two major things there. And then of course we're gonna deal with the rest of the Music Mondays merch and kind of promote that once or twice before we kind of put that on the back burner. So those three main things are kind of what's on the big forefront for Music Mondays, right? So Cyberfest 2 stuff, we're gonna be revamping the Patreon and showing that some love. Music Mondays merch as well. So again, a couple of things are kind of in the works, but that's like the bigger scope of stuff. Of course, your monthly and weekly content will stay the same, right? So when it comes down to articles and videos in the podcast and all our playlists, of course, um, those will be staying the same per usual. So you can expect the usual content and a couple of updated playlists and whatnot too, because we have to update Underground Classics. We have to update the breakdown. So there's a couple things that we really got to update when it comes to our other playlists. So again, you should see a lot of that go up this. So that's like the big scope of things in like the next couple weeks as far as like July goes and what that's really gonna look like for us. So let's see here. All right, so we did weekly recap, Jazz. We did what's coming on Music Mondays. We talked about recruiting. We talked about exclusives. Yeah, that's all like the major details that I think you guys need to know about. Okay, so now that all that's good to go, let's talk about a very interesting topic for a few minutes, and then I will get us into some reactions and reviews. So, this week's topic is kind of interesting, right? Um, this is a topic where I've spoke about it vaguely, like here or there. But this is a topic that I don't think I've really like hammered down on and really like explained the logic behind certain things. So I came across a very interesting tweet, and we're not gonna pull the tweet up or anything like that. I think the tweet itself just kind of sparked like the thought process within me. So let's get into it. All right, man. So what are we talking about today? The infamous topic of, does short form content matter? Does creating content matter in general as a musician? Oh boy, this is a good one here. This is a fucking good one, let me tell you. Okay, so like I said, uh, I saw a tweet yesterday. It kind of inspired me to like kind of like double down on the topic and really made me want to explain the idea and logic behind content, right? So somebody had a tweet yesterday, and it was something along the lines of, if you're a musician and you don't create daily content in today's climate, you might want to kiss that dream goodbye. And it's kind of like an insane tweet, right? Because like they're mostly wrong. They are mostly wrong. But it sparked the whole conversation of like rappers shouldn't need to make content. We shouldn't have to do this. We shouldn't have to do that. Look, this topic can stem into a whole lot of other topics, right? So, for instance, musicians should already be being paid way more for streams and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, right? That whole musicians being paid unfairly is kind of like the catalyst to why content has become king when it comes to music and art, right? So now that there's that notion, right? I think there's a type of person we have to exclude from this conversation as well. So if you're a person, a musician, a creator, and you just love creating and you don't care if you make a career and you don't care if you monetize yourself, this conversation is definitely not for you, right? If you just love what you do and you don't care where it goes, that's fine. By all means, go have your fun. That's cool. But this topic is not for those people. This topic is for the people that do want to have a successful career in whatever they do, right? Whether you're a designer, a musician, you're a painter, you're a producer, you're an engineer, whatever. So, when it comes to getting paid as a musician, the first thing that people think of is just streaming revenue in general, right? Everybody gets a DistroKid check, everybody gets a SoundCloud check, everybody might get some royalties here or there. Maybe you got a good song and it did some numbers and you got splits and whatever, right? That's that once a month kind of check. Like you're only getting that check once per month. So even as like a semi-successful musician, right? Like say you had like a couple million monthlies, right? Say you had 2 million monthlies, right? And you're making what? Mm, depends, right? Depends what you're streaming and X, Y, or Z. So let's call it like 5 figures, right? Let's call it about 5 figures. If you're waiting on that check once per month, right? And you have insurance, you have a house, you have rent, you have electricity, you have pets, you have other fucking, expenses. That streaming check is not going to cut it. And like even more so, that's being generous with a person who's already doing a lot of numbers. Right. So that's like a big fucking problem is like most people aren't doing numbers like that, right? Maybe you're blessed with like a couple thousand monthly, maybe you got 10K, maybe you got 20K monthly, maybe you got, upwards of 6 figures. Who knows? But even being in like the millions of monthly listeners is kind of generous, right? Cuz not a lot of people are. Um so you might be able to even get away with it there. But again, on a month to month basis, with it, maybe sometimes being late if you're an independent artist and you're not dealing with a label or X, Y, or Z, you can't count on that. You know what I mean? Like newsflash, like that's why like you can't count on like paper checks and this, that, and the third, and like direct deposit is a thing, right? Because like waiting on the mail, you know what I mean? Like it'll probably be there on time, but there is always that off chance that it's not there on time, right? So as a musician, right, and as time went on, um, there became other avenues available for people to kind of monetize themselves, right? You saw a lot of producers and rappers start streaming. You saw a lot of producers and rappers start Patrons. You saw a lot of them start doing merch. You saw a lot of them start doing shows. You know what I mean? So it's like, okay, like you're starting to like pull in revenue, whether it be large or small amounts of revenue from other places, right? You're getting paid from here, you're getting paid from there, and you have your general streaming check, which you're guaranteed every month. So you're like, okay, um, but where does all this content come in? Well, the thing is like, I think there was like a tweet from like Kenny Beats like not too long ago about if you get into music to like get rich, like this is probably like one of the worst careers to do it in. And like to an extent, he's not wrong, but that's just if you're like depending on just music, right? So that's the kind of bullet that I think like splits everybody because like some people like want to monetize themselves but only want to make money from music. Well, the reality of it is you make a lot more revenue from multiple other places, right? Because a lot of people are going to fuck with you as a person if they fuck with your music. You know what I mean? So they want to see you streaming. They want to see you doing X, Y, or Z. They want to see your TikToks. They want to see blah, 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 blah. Right? But when it comes down to like the morality of it and like what people think of like creating content, whatever your content is, um, some people just look at it in like a real negative way. And I don't think it should be looked at as like a negative thing, right? Because it's 2024. This whole internet money personality kind of monetization deal hasn't been around for that long, right? Like 20 years ago, you couldn't fucking upload a video to YouTube for free and fucking go viral off it. You couldn't upload it to TikTok. You literally couldn't download a free DAW and upload a song to a distro and get on Spotify in less than a week. That was not possible 20 years ago. That was not a thing. You could not do that 20 years ago at all. Even if you were a musician, you were paying for fucking studio time, you were paying to get your CDs pressed up so you could give them away for free. Like, bro, people don't understand like how easy we actually do have it. And if you're like ultra complaining that you have to create content to monetize yourself, bro, in some cases I do agree that you might be in the wrong line of work, right? Like this isn't like 1879 anymore where you can go paint a painting in the middle of a fucking field. Some people are just going to like toss coins in a fucking bucket. That's not how it is, bro. Like that's not how it is. And like again, if you want to make like a real honest living from this, you're gonna have to do other shit. You know what I mean? Like never lose sight on the music and the art and the goals, right? Like make music like your number one always, but create a brand for yourself, right? So once you create a brand for yourself, you're going down different lanes and picking up different audience members, right? So all this content and all these TikToks and all this skit shit, it's not just for engagement and to go viral. Like yeah, the numbers are great and all that, but that doesn't equal a check. You could have a video do 1 million on TikTok and you're not going to make fucking shit off of it. But what you will gain is that exposure that you wouldn't normally be getting, right? So you take that exposure and you double it up and you double it up and you keep dropping content here and you keep dropping content here. And eventually a lot of those people from that viral video drop off onto your real schedule and your real content, right? And your real moves. So it's a nerdy game, bro, but it's how it is. It's how it fucking is. Like if you actually care about your career and it's something you really want to do and you want to see, Music Mondays or Zom Slays and you really want to see that idea prosper, you should be comfortable with like creating different forms of content. And I don't think you need to be creating content daily, right? I think right off the bat when it comes to that tweet that I had spoke about in the start of this conversation, I think creating content daily is unrealistic. You have no time to create art as it is, right? Most of us have to work a job, blah, blah, blah. A lot of people don't have a manager, right? So they don't have a Zom in their corner doing X, Y, or Z. So they're truly like fully solo DIY. Like a lot of people can't post TikToks daily and create in the studio and da 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 da. Like, so I do think like the daily thing is like a bit of a stretch. Like nobody posts daily. You know what I mean? I think maybe even every other day is still stretching it, but doable. But posting daily is just not a thing, So that's where I don't agree. I would never advise any of my staff or any of my artists to post every single fucking day. Like, I don't think it's just not logical. You know what I mean? It's just not fucking logical. So it begs the question, right? Like, does it matter? Well, you have to ask yourself, what do you want from this? You know what I mean? Because if you want to make money from your music, the unfortunate real answer is you're going to have to make a lot more than just music to make a living. And that's just how it is. But you can look at it in two ways. You can look at it and be like, oh, damn, it's not about the art anymore, and da 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 da. Or you can look at the fact that 20 years ago, you couldn't do any of this. You couldn't go make a bag off of TikTok. You couldn't go make a bag off of YouTube. You couldn't go make a bag off of Twitch 20 fucking years ago. That was not a thing. Like, all the other artists before us had it way fucking harder than we do now. Like, it's literally a matter of a 30-second clip going viral and your career is, like, off the fucking wall. And people, they try to, like, stigmatize the idea of it and, blah, 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 blah. It's not right. It sucks. Like, music is subjective. You know what I mean? It is what it is. There's a lot of dog shit out there that I don't like. You know what I mean? As far as, like, mainstream stuff goes. But people do. Like, what the fuck are you gonna do about it? You know what I mean? But it's one of those things as to where, like, it's a great fucking tool, right? And if you can find a schedule for yourself of content that you like doing as an artist, like that's where people get it twisted too, is you don't need to go out and go do skit content and go make cutesy fucking TikToks and fucking. You don't have to do any of that. Find content that you like, right? If you're a horror movie fan, fucking, go do horror shit. Go talk horror. If you're a fucking gamer, go fucking do, blah 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 blah. Like there's a real easy way to like figure out what kind of content you want to create as an artist, right? Because again, eventually it's going to be those people that see that type of shit that want to buy your merch, that want to come to your shows, that like your music, that like your art. You know what I mean? So a lot of this is like world building. It's audience building. It's not just for cheap numbers. It's not spamming TikToks for views. Like that's not the logic behind it. Like it's about building a fucking brand. You know what I mean? Like it's about building a fucking brand. People want to talk about, oh, you're not a musician anymore and blah 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 blah. Brother, eh, like all right. Like again, back to the point. Like would you rather have these tools there for free, by the way, and be able to use them, or would you rather it be way fucking harder? Like way way fucking harder. Regardless of skill or who's good and who's not good and blah 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 blah. It was again 10 times harder to do the shit that we do now. And yeah, it might have led to some oversaturation in this, that, and the third. But all the real hardworking artists and musicians and creatives know that those people fall off anyway. It's like somebody who, like, they talk the talk, but they don't walk the walk. You know what I mean? Like, a billion people can start and try to make music and art, but that doesn't mean a billion people are going to have the opportunity to get on. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of the real ones know that, like we have persevered through times and trends and different other shit, bro. Like, it was really like it was a very different climate. Like fuck, even 10 years ago in 2014 it was a very different climate. You know what I mean? So now it's just like you have all these wonderful tools to be able to monetize yourself and like serve your supporters and fans and audience like an honest genuine experience, you know what I mean? So I don't think people should be like shitting on the idea of it. And I'm not saying I like it either, you know what I mean? I don't like the short form content game as much as anybody else does, you know what I mean? I was a YouTube kid, you know what I mean? Like way before shorts and TikToks and Vine and shit. Like I saw the whole fucking trend, you know what I mean? So I'm not any more of a fan of it than anybody else is, right? But when it comes down to like making use of it and like actually putting yourself out there and like gaining, a few new supporters here and doing this here and da 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 da, you're opening all these lanes for yourself to be able to be monetized and actually build a brand for yourself. You know what I mean? So I don't think you should look at it as like a bad thing. It's definitely not a bad thing. And no, you don't have to post daily. You don't have to fucking you don't have to uh uh kind of like act fake or do any like weird NPC shit. You don't have to do any of that, man. You really don't. Like as long as you do content that you're natural with and you're having fun with, it'll be solid. Um and I'm not even saying you got to go out and be like a full-fledged like content creator. You can still do 90% music, but if you're taking videos in the studio, why wouldn't you post it on TikTok anyway? Why wouldn't you do that? You know what I mean? Like that's content. Like people say the word content and they get all bugged out because they think it's like fucking filming and editing and influencers and creators and da da da. I hate to break it to you, but music is content. Designing is content. That's creating content. You are creating a piece of content to be consumed. Okay, so just fucking that whole notion has got to go too. You know what I mean? Like that whole stigma that word has got to go too. It's just a broad term. You know what I mean? It's too broad of a term for my liking, but it's what it is. You know what I mean? So I think a lot of serious people need to get a fucking grip and like not expect like all this shit to work the same for everybody. You know what I mean? Like everybody pops off in a different fashion. Everybody has a different style, a different audience. There's an ass for every single seat. You know what I mean? But if the tools are there, why wouldn't you use them? For free, by the way. For free. You can upload unlimited amounts of videos on YouTube for free. Same thing with TikTok. For free. Like, motherfucker, like, it'd be a different story if you had to, like, pay for subscriptions and there was this, that, and the third. Like, bro, these platforms are here to be utilized. You should be abusing them. You should absolutely be abusing them. And find shit that you enjoy to post. Don't just fucking, try to follow trends and shit because that's obvious. You stick out like a sore thumb if you start trying to do shit that people have done before, or you're doing fake shit, or you're doing skits. And like, if that's what you like to do it, but don't go that route because you think it's going to do numbers. Get the number shit out of your head. Create shit that you enjoy, because if you enjoy it, you're going to find your audience. Same logic behind music. Literally the same logic behind music. Like, that's why people make certain types of music. They make music that they enjoy. They make music that they would listen to and that they would want to do. And like, every artist who's ever gotten on makes music like that because they enjoy it. They make what they like, fuck what you like, kind of thing. You know what I mean? So take that mindset and put it behind the content. It's really the same deal, and it's all for you, right? It's all self promotion. It's all building your platforms, and it's just a good digital footprint. You know what I mean? It's a good digital footprint. So it matters. It definitely matters. But I'm not saying fucking stretch your life out over it and become a full fledged creator and worry too much about the content, and, as to where you're not in the studio and shit. Like, no, that's unacceptable. But you're sitting in the studio for fucking 8 hours anyway, making beats. Motherfucker, film a video. Like, it takes 2 seconds. You know what I mean? Cut it, clip it, ship it, post it. What the fuck's the problem? You know what I mean? People act like making content is like somebody has like a gun to your head and they're like, yeah, man, you gotta make this fucking TikTok or I'm not giving you this contract. Bro, you're just giving yourself a better fucking chance, bro. Like, that's what, like, I don't, look, bro. I'm not gonna sit here and try to like change anybody's mind, right? But I do think that people have a very like wrong idea on like why it matters, and they don't really like understand the logistics behind it. Everybody just thinks that it's just aimless numbers fishing, and fucking, you know, there's a real logic behind it, and at the end of the day, if you can land in somewhere in the middle as to where you can create some fun content for yourself that other people do enjoy along with your music, it's just all the more better for you as a creator. And whatever it is, I'm not even talking about just strictly TikTok. It doesn't even have to be short form shit. Like, you could be a fucking YouTuber on the side and nobody knows it. Like some history YouTuber or something. You know what I mean? Like, you can do whatever you want. But again, um, it's a win-win because you're doing content you enjoy, you have the chance to actually monetize it, and it doesn't affect your music or your art or your design or whatever you're doing. So it's like, I don't know, man. Like, I get it. Like, there's some people who are like camera shy and shit, but you should be at least posting certain shit. You know what I mean? And get yourself in a fucking schedule. And I could go on and on and on about this. You know what I mean? Same thing I talk with all my artists about, but at the end of the day, bro, like, you're only gonna want it bad enough. You're only gonna want it as I don't know, bro. It's just it really boggles my mind sometimes because it's like it's not asking much. You know what I mean? Like it's really not asking much. But I think people make it like it's like mowing the lawn or something. Like, brother, like, you're filming a fucking video like about your music, or you're creating a little like meme or anything. Like, you didn't even have to be on the camera, you know what I mean? Like, you could just make a meme, spend 20 minutes editing a video with your song into it, you know what I mean? And then boom, there's your content. Like, so yeah. I don't know. People kind of like overcomplicate it, and like, instead of like looking at the facts and like the trends and like who's done what with what, they just kind of like go overboard and they're like, you're not a real musician. All you care about is TikTok and da 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 da. This doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. Look, bro, believe the hype. Okay, believe the hype. Believe the hype, because TikTok's a very easy platform to go viral on, for sure. Especially when it comes to music and memes. You know what I mean? People like music and memes, for sure. And then, like, if you like doing other side shit, that's even better, right? So, like I said, you do movie content, you take photos, maybe you um are a gamer on the side or whatever, you know what I mean? Because a lot of those things go hand in hand anyway, like, you're not gonna find many things that music doesn't go with, so you can create about multiple things if you really wanted to, you know what I mean? And not feel like such a like a crabs in a barrel mentality with music, so um yeah, man, build a brand for yourself, monetize, post everywhere, work hard, work hard, and just be honest, man. Be honest with yourself, and don't do anybody wrong. And just love what you do, dog. Just enjoy your content, man, and you'll be fine. So um, definitely let us know what you think. I'm sure there'll be. There's definitely some thoughts and opinions out there about the about the short form content kind of deal, but definitely let us know what you think. And don't worry about the internet climate. You know what I mean? Keep your heads up and just do shit that you think is fun, but work hard. You know. So but that'll definitely be uploaded on the channel. Definitely drop a like on the video, subscribe. We upload 2 times a week on the channel, every Thursday, every Saturday. You know the motherfucking drill, man. Let's get it. Let's fucking go. um, yeah, that topic is fucking insane. I won't lie to you, Chief. That topic is fucking insane. Um, just because it's just like, man, people make it way harder than it needs to be, Jimmy. Way fucking harder than it needs to be. You know what I'm saying? But nonetheless, let's bring the vibes up a little bit here, and let's talk music. So, we're gonna get into some reactions and reviews, and we're gonna talk about the show. So, let's see here. Let me sip some coffee, and then we'll be good to go. We'll talk about submissions and all that good. But yeah, that topic, man, that friggin' topic. Mm. Yup. Okay. All right. Get some coffee up in this John. Oh, let's do this. A sugar settled at the bottom. It's iced coffee. Chipotle craze, a mixed bag of reactions. The trends on the side are always fucking insane, bro. All right. Let's get into it. Let's get started. You guys know the drill. If you don't and you're new here, submissions are always in the same format. They'll always read artists and creative submissions open for live reviews Mondays, live on July 22nd, 2024 at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, twitch.tv/zonplays, which is here and now. Again, tweets are always in the same format, so make sure you just check the date and then you'll be good to go. Just make sure you're not submitting for a show that's already happened or a show that's already passed and posted, right? So just check the date, drop your links, and you'll be good to go. Outside of that, if you'd like to submit your music, artwork, fashion, or digital creations, drop your links and portfolios below. All art forms are welcome. Per usual, contrary to our name, Music Mondays, we've reacted to pretty much everything here on the show, from instrumentals to vocals to artwork to photography, graphic design, videography, edits, you name it, we've reacted to it here on the show. Merch as well. Um, so again, feel free to drop any type of content if you feel like you deserve a spotlight on the Music Mondays podcast. We'd love to have you on the show. Because again, we've reacted to pretty much everything. So feel free to submit whatever. We are down. For our show limit, per usual, many of you know that we implemented the 4-hour show limits at some point last year, just to make the show a little bit more tolerable and palatable to watch back. Per usual, like I always say, one could argue that a 4-hour show is still a little bit long to watch back, but again, it's a little bit better than the 5 and the 6, 7-hour shows that we used to do in like 2022, in like early 2023 as well. But yeah, 4-hour show limit, so just keep that in mind. And of course, submissions are free. They always have been free, and they always will be free. But the only thing that we do ask is that you're following Music Mondays on Twitter to be eligible. Not only to help grow our platform and spread our message, but it pays respect to everybody else that does submit tracks and wait for their tracks to be reacted to every single week. And of course, you gain access to a wonderful wide network of creatives that are super, super talented and very, very friendly. So kind of a win-win, if you ask me. But again, submissions are free. They always have been free, and they always will be free. Patreon subscribers, submissions are played first every single week. So if you're subscribed to the Music Mondays Patreon at any tier, you gain access to a bunch of goodies, including the Music Mondays Fast Pass, which allows you for the duration that you're pledged to the Music Mondays Patreon to have your tracks reacted to first here on the show every single week. So again, if you subscribe to the Patreon tonight for the next 4 weeks straight, you'd be able to have your submissions played first here on the show before everybody else. And it obviously guarantees your submissions to be played as well. Because sometimes we may hit the 4-hour show limit, or we might do like an early show or something like that. So it pretty much always guarantees your to be played. So again, if that's something that interests you, definitely go check out the Music Mondays Patreon. Go show all of our patrons some love. Huge shout out to everybody over there on Patreon. You guys are fucking amazing. Drama Eyes, Ryuki, Mark, Kruger, Light Dot, and Jordan. You guys are awesome. Um, Okay, so I think the only thing that we got to talk about is submissions closing. So you have about a week to submit to every show because, of course, we're live every single Monday. So again, if you're watching this here live, submissions will open for episode 184 tomorrow. If you're watching this anywhere else on YouTube or Spotify or anything like that, submissions are already open, so go drop your tracks. But per usual, submissions close about a couple hours before the show starts, just so we can get like a head count and make sure that nobody submits late and messes up the order and kind of comes through and uh really kind of just cuts the line and because we usually go from top to bottom outside of the Patreons, right? So we tend to keep it pretty even and equal. So again, just keep that in mind. Submissions do close a couple hours before the show starts. Good rule of thumb is if you see the show live, submissions are most likely closed, most definitely. And then outside of that, I don't think there's anything else. Yeah, that's basically the majority of it. But again, if you have any questions about the Music Mondays podcast, you want to know why we take Twitter or X, Y, or Z, definitely go check out the Music Mondays how to submit to the podcast guide on our channel. I uploaded that like the beginning of the year. We kind of break down the Music Mondays podcast in greater detail, why we take submissions on Twitter, how the podcast came to life, etc., etc., etc. So definitely go check that out if you want any more information, or just feel free to send us a message as well. That'd be cool. But we're gonna check out how many patrons we have tonight after I turn my fucking AC on because it's hot. And we'll be good. All right. So we're gonna see who we have for Patreons, and then we shall be good to go. All right. A lot of very interesting submissions tonight, by the way. I think we have one Patreon from when I last looked. I'm pretty sure it's just one. There's the homie Jordan. That is one. I don't. Yeah, no, we don't have any more. I don't think. All right, so we're gonna kick it off with the homie Jordan. I know a majority of these, some of these people don't follow Music Mondays on Twitter. Tisk. But yeah, I'm pretty sure it's just Jordan. So we're gonna kick off with Jordan, and then we'll continue with the rest of the community's submissions. Okay. So, all right. First up, we got the homie Jordan, man. This is an artist who just dropped a crazy ass project. This is, from the start of 2024 up until now, right? So we're almost done with July. This is an artist who has absolutely worked their ass off for sure. More specifically for this project, this is one where they're just doing a hell of a job promoting it, and it's definitely a project that I wanted to take our time with here on the show. I think we've reacted to like 2 or 3 of the tracks, but we do have another one here from the homie Jordan. And per usual, if you don't know Jordan, a very, very talented hip hop producer, vocalist, a multi-genre talented artist, submitted a track titled "The Thing." More from Turning Point. All right, I'm down. Let's get into it. So it's officially been out for like 10 days as of today. So this will be cool. All right, and we have another artist titled Jordan. So that's kind of crazy. We got Jordan and Jordan. So we did What Happened, and I think we did the Bag remix. So this will be track, or no, I think we did the remix and then the Deadlighters remix. We did What Happened, and now we're doing The Thing. I'm pretty sure those are all the ones that we've done from this project. I'm almost certain. Okay, let's get into it. Jordan, The Thing, let's go.
Understand the neuronic actions of my mind. All these morons passionate, but they don't keep it live. Fire and squad tapped out, so I stole the shine. I'm in the spotlight now, and I'm gonna take my time. Time's up now or never. Doesn't doesn't make a difference. We all gonna die, from the saints to the sinners. I'll cover up the flaws in my liquor, and I'm swinging on all fronts, crowning myself the victor. And it's easier to talk, it's harder to act. What's the point of a diss when it's whack on the wax? Air in your gloves when you're throwing your attack. It's harder to float when your boats fill the cracks. And it's easier to talk, it's harder to act. You suck at this rap shit, you better double back. Air in your gloves when you're throwing your attacks. It's harder to float when your boat's filled with cracks. Try to put the boy in a box, I poked holes and rolled him over. I'm swinging swords at your vocal cords. My hands raise, strings pull your cerebral cortex. And the rest is in the floorboards. I'm blowing up like it's World War. The next mission, nuclear fission up in this turf war. And I don't take a hostage, bitch, I send a message. I don't see humans, I see numbers inside the wreckage. Misled like a bullet misdirected. I'm standing at attention as this legend's being beckoned. And send my regards and for resentment this gift, cause I would be remiss to change the present.
Okay. That's a very interesting instrumental too. Like, very fucking interesting. Damn. Okay. And the Jordan and Jordan tag was sick too. Okay. Wow. Like, that was such like a very it was like a very comfy kind of instrumental, I want to say. I keep going to the word like comfortable, but it just had this feel to it, man. It was very interesting, but very well done either way though. So let's break it down, let's talk about it, let's get into it. So we're gonna talk about three things here. We're gonna talk about the instrumental, we're gonna talk about vocals, and we're gonna talk about the overall theme of the thing. Okay. Let's talk instrumental. Let's start with the mix. Fantastic, to be honest with you. Like, thinking back on it, the melody kind of like really took over and was like super front and center, but drums were nice. Vocals sat nice in the instrumental. Nothing too crazy that I would change, to be honest with you. I mean, every song that we've heard from this project has had a really solid mix, so I can't really say I have any gripes with this one at all. It's definitely hitting the mark as far as like the rest of the tracks go, but it has this like nice level feeling to it. Not doing too much, but it's not like really underwhelming either, because I do feel like the melodies are like really front and center on this. So I think that was a really solid choice. Hmm. So the instrumental makes definitely solid. Instrumental Shining Star. I mean, the structure's up there, the drums are up there, but the melody is very rememberable. Like, this is a song where, again, like, you could play like 2 seconds of it and you're gonna know it instantly. Just off the melody alone. So for me, it's definitely gonna be the melody. Everything else is like a very good close second though, especially the structure. Structure's definitely up there, but for me, got to be the melody. Definitely. So instrumental solid. Let's talk vocals. Vocal mix, again, fantastic. A nice clean, clear cut vocal mix. Like, it's not doing too much with processing. It's not trying to like be something it's not. It's nice and loud and effective, but it's not raw. It doesn't have that raw feeling to it, right? Where it's dry, has that little like dash of reverb in it. Yeah, no real gripes with this. Again, this is an artist that we haven't heard Jordan work with yet. This is one where this was new to us, right? This is the first time the other Jordan has been on the show. So, kind of falling in line of the category with artists that have like a solid, like regular natural voice. So it's definitely something you want to like experiment with and really like just really like push it for what it is, but leave it still like very natural. Like, you don't want to do too much post processing. You obviously do, your regular cleanups and whatnot, and make them actually stand out, but as far as effects go, I like it the way it is for sure. Because again, it gives that like organic hip hop feel as well. Um, so yeah, vocal mix kind of nailed it for me, definitely, especially for a first time submitting artist, right? Well, not first time submitting, but first time that they've been on the show, right? So, um, vocal mix, awesome. Mm, hmm. Vocal shining star. Mm, the flow and cadence was up there, but I really like the writing too. Hmm. I liked them pretty equally. I'm not gonna lie to you, Chief. Um, you know, probably the writing. Just because the style of writing was fun. It was like a lot of fun punchlines, but a lot of like clever bars as well. But it's also just a very chill track in general. Um, so yeah, let's go with writing. But flow and cadence was right up there too. Like I could have totally picked flow and cadence as well, but I'm big on this writing. So instrumental solid, definitely the melody. Vocal solid, definitely the writing. Let's talk theme. So, for those of you that haven't heard me talk about this, I spoke a little bit about this cover, not too long ago. Obviously last week, but I spoke about it for the first time like a couple weeks ago, and this is one that definitely felt like album worthy, right? Like this is one where I always say that, and I really do get like a big like album feeling from this cover. I like this one as opposed to it being used for a single. Like it has that like album feel to it. And again, much like a lot of the Deadlighters, Jordan, Make More Creative Junk kind of cruise arts, this one's kind of like pushing the boundaries of like once again, the more you look at it, the more you're kind of like seeing as you're like really taking like a long hard look at this. And then I think the thing that really like tops it off for me though is the turning point in the bottom right. The aesthetics on this one is something that I just always enjoyed, but the turning point really like was that cherry on top, so to speak, right? So aesthetics definitely on point. But that's something I definitely had always thought. The overall theme, I wouldn't look for like a super overall theme in this one. This is definitely one where you just got to pay attention to the writing and the lyrics and the lyrical ability here. This is definitely one where you can just sit back and actually like appreciate the bars and the punchlines and a lot of the more like simple stuff, you know what I mean? And you're just like, okay, like going back to like the like organic roots of like what underground hip hop is all about, right? And this is definitely like giving that like true DIY kind of feel. Everything from the instrumental all the way to the flow and cadence. It's one of those things that like feels original and like nice and organic. Like I think the thing with this album so far, hearing like 3 or 4 tracks, um, I think the thing with this is like it has that real DIY organic feel to it. It's not like overly mixed. It's not using insane fucking Travis Scott type beats. It's not doing a bunch of uh like it feels very again organic, natural, and like it has flavor, like this is one where each track is just getting better and better, but also like if you're playing this from like, A to B, I could see a first time listener like actually excited to get to the next song, right? One song ends and you're like, oh shit, I got like 3 more left. You know what I mean? Like each song is just like a new experience. Um, so that's what I did notice about this so far. I mean, I don't want to jump the gun yet, but those are just some like closing thoughts on the whole project itself so far. But with that said, huge shout out to Jordan. Thank you so much for the submission, my friend. Much love. Make sure you go follow Jordan on Spotify, and of course, make sure you go follow Jordan on Twitter. They are 3 followers away from 460. So make sure you go show them some love over there on the bird app, my friends. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every single episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. And of course, make sure you subscribe to Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. We're approaching 200 and 90 subscribers. We upload 2 times a week, every Thursday, every Saturday. Full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, and a whole lot of good jazz over there on the channel. So go show these artists on the channel some motherfucking love, baby. Oh, let's get it. And if you already have, thank you. We appreciate you here at Music Mondays, my friend. I see you guys dropping likes, dropping comments, all that good jazz. We always try to respond relatively quickly. But yeah, new videos every Thursday, Saturday. Let's go. All right, so that's all the patrons for the night. We only had one tonight. Patrons have been going crazy lately, so sometimes it really be like that. But let's move on to the rest of the community submissions. So you guys know the drill. We're gonna go top to bottom, and we're just gonna keep pushing through. So, first up, outside of the community is the homie Sam's Raps. It's been probably about like a month or so. I'd say like a month. But we've definitely reacted to at least like one or two Sam's Raps tracks, definitely. But a very, very talented hip hop vocalist submitted a track titled Latte Art. Well, let's see what we got here from the homie. Let's get it, Dry My Eyes. Let's go, baby. All right. You know, oh shit, it's from a 3-track EP. Okay. So we got Take the Shot, Latte Art, and Good Riddance. I mean, I love the art already. Triple shot, I mean, especially for like the latte art triple, you know, like the whole caffeine coffee like latte deal is very well done. But Sans Raps submitted Latte Art, so let's get it. Let's get into it.
Yo. Sip some espresso. Check it. Put a knife in the block, cause I'm chopping the flows. Got a script for the line, so I'm properly dosed. The dope's all mine like apostrophe, bro. Gotta sift through the mind for this comedy gold. It's on me to know I should probably go. The best things happen when they probably won't. Staring at you like I met you before. You just look right past like I never was born. Never was born, yeah, never was born. What was the score? Yeah, I'm checking the board. Got them on their toes like they're reaching for more. Pose of a pics while you jocking my shit. To add to the list, I'm stacking my chips. And I'm back to the pen, then I'm padding again. Got my hand on my stack and I'm cashing it in. What's happening is I'm the classiest bitch. At the top of my grades like I'm copping the A. Stop the whole game like a laggedy frame. You gon' know my name at the end of the day. Yeah.
Okay.
I've been gone for so long, I don't know where to go. Stop dropping all those songs, shit sounds horrible. It's so bad. I be simmering the sauce, shit smells very dope. Just trying to get that shit across like a word puzzle. Crossword. Got the verbs wrapped up like a word search do. But your girl act up when the verse is through. The world don't stop, but it's not about you. I'm flat when the pearls got the clam sauce too. Yeah, and I'm not referring to fish. Yeah, who's more clever than this? Yeah, looking at me like I got 3 heads. What you think I'm Severus, bitch? Yeah, if you wanna step to the king,
He is crazy.
And I'm moving terrible clicks, making hits with the set and the rest of the wind. When I step, I'm like Geppetto. Pull the shot, shred, sipping dopey, while she go put on her stilettos. Higher than falsetto, not for the faint of heart. See me, yo, bitch, I'll pull through like latte art. It's me. Did you think I'd leave, that I'm not about heat, that I can't cut a rug with my 2 left feet?
My God.
Like me, you cannot copy. Find a rhymes with a spine, yours are on loose leaf. Rookie shit. You got a piece of the breed, but I got the whole thing. I made a wheel from cream, cause the vowels ain't free. Never.
That's fantastic. Nice little fade out there too. Instead of just like cutting off, like that was a nice little small addition there, definitely. Okay, man, let's talk about it. Let's get into it because this was fucking crazy, especially for like a first submission for the night. Man, all right. Let's talk about it. Let's get into it. So, we're gonna talk about three things here. We are gonna talk about the instrumental, the vocals, and of course the overall theme of latte art. Such an interesting concept here too. It's really well done though. You know, like simple 3-track EP, triple shot, latte art. Like I don't know, something about it is just very unique. You know. Okay, so let's talk instrumental. I love the choice. I love the choice. It has this very alt hip hop kind of feeling to it. The melodies are great. I like the drums. Sound selection's good. But let's talk mix. Um, Mix is solid. Nothing clashing, too overbearing. A lot of the basses are mixed really well. The drums are mixed in really well. And again, the sound selection, like I said, is super solid. Not much I would really change on this one. I feel like the producer did a really good job when it comes to the instrumental. Nothing clashing, too overbearing. Drums definitely cut through nicely. Vocals are chill. They sit very nice. Um, yeah, definitely no gripes. Definitely no gripes. Okay, so instrumental mix solid. Instrumental shining star. Hmm. You know the melody is very like etchy, right? But I do feel like the structure is very underrated here. I feel like you could really like it just forget about the structure, but it is actually like really fucking good. Especially where a lot of the drops start and where it comes back in. Like the structure of this instrumental is very deliberate, you know. So this producer definitely knew what they were doing and kind of like how they wanted to like shape this out, you know. So I'm gonna go with structure, but I do feel like the drums and melody are like a close second. But I really like the structure of the instrumental for sure. Um, okay, instrumental solid. Let's talk vocals. Vocal mix is fantastic. So this is like the second or third track that we've reacted to from Sans Raps here on the show, and all of them have had like really solid vocal mixes. Um, Nice and loud, crisp, clear, clean. Nothing really like clashing with each other. Not off beat. The mix isn't like super processed. It's a very like hip hop style mix. Um, Definitely no gripes thinking back on it, you know what I mean? Again, this is an artist like their style um it really allows them to like let their natural voice kind of do the heavy lifting. So, yeah, this is one where again, if you do enough cleanup, you kind of put some elbow grease in it. You kind of have like a really solid set of vocals here. You know what I mean? So, didn't have to go too crazy, but I do like where they are and where they sit for sure. So vocal mix definitely right on point. Vocal shining star, man. You know, I was gonna say writing, but flow and cadence is just really fucking insane, especially in like the later half of the song. Like once you get past like a minute 30, like and your brain is like used to the flow, it's like oh shit, you know, like the flow, cadence, and delivery of this was fantastic. Writing was a close second, but flow, cadence, and delivery for sure, definitely. Um, so instrumental solid, definitely the structure. Vocal solid, definitely the flow, cadence, and delivery. Let's talk theme. So this is one of the cooler themes that I've seen in a little bit. I mean, like we see a lot of like really cool themes all the time, but this is one that caught my eye for a couple reasons, right? Aesthetically, I think this is a great EP cover. I think it's a great EP concept, but um, strictly talking about aesthetics, I like it a lot. It has that like coffee shop painting kind of vibe, you know what I mean? Like it really has that like or even just like ground coffee or even just like coffee brand kind of style. It has a specific feel to it. Um but it's solid for an EP though. You know, I mean, I guess it would work for a single, but mm, I think it's solid for an EP. To be honest with you, like if I'm keeping it in a book, simple, effective, has this like minimalist look, but it still feels like a coffee brand. And then the Sam's at the bottom, and then the triple shot up top, and like like even the font has that like coffee kind of has that coffee kind of flavor to it. So Aesthetics I'm very big on. I like this a lot. I don't even really know why. I just think it's a very simple and effective kind of theme going on, you know? But this dropped in actually May 17th, which is kind of crazy. So not exactly new, but not exactly old either. About 2 months ago, right? So, um, okay. So overall theme of latte art, I mean, kind of an ode to the whole project itself, right? I mean, if you're gonna call a project Triple Shot, you kind of want to have at least some of your bars like try to relate, or even you could just do like a whole like breakdown on coffee in a fucking song. You know what I mean? But um, I wouldn't look for too much coffee lore in this one. I just feel like this one was a real easy way to like double down on like a simple topic and really like push it to like a whole new level, right? But again, this is a track where I would definitely listen to this for the writing ability, the lyrics, and really enjoy like the organic like hip hop ability here, like flow, the cadence, like this is one of those like you don't have to dig too deep and just really listen to the bars, you know, and really listen to the punchlines, and you're like, okay, you know, because that's kind of like been the theme here for Sam's raps is they've had like a lot of insane writing, you know what I mean, and like it's just enjoyable. Um, like any hip hop fan is definitely gonna be able to get behind something like this, especially like the way it just feels so underground and so very like natural again, right? Like it just feels like very natural, and believable. That's the other thing is like the tone and like the delivery is like all very like believable. It doesn't sound corny. It doesn't sound like fake or anything like that. You know what I mean? So I definitely feel like they really hit the mark with this one. They definitely really hit the mark with this one. So well done, my friend. Well done. Huge shout out to Sam's Raps. Make sure you go follow Sam's on Spotify. And of course, make sure you go follow Sam's on Twitter. They are one follower away from 810 or 11 followers from 820. Go show Sam some love, man. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every single episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. And of course, every artist featured will be there. And of course, make sure you subscribe, man. Make sure you subscribe. We upload 2 times a week, every Thursday, every Saturday. Full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, whole lot of good jazz over there. We're on the road to 290. So huge shout out to everybody that already has subscribed. You guys are amazing. If you're dropping likes, dropping comments, all that good jazz, we appreciate you. Well, let's fucking go. So, let's hear. Okay, so we left off with the homie Sam's Raps. Up next is the homie Waterfalls and Music Money's staff member, Waterfalls. So, Waterfalls is somebody that I've known for quite some time, man. Like really, really quite some time. Since 2017, I've known Waterfalls, man, and we've written together, we've made songs together, we've done a lot over the years, man. But it's been a while since Water has been on the show. Um, I don't think Water has been on the show since like 2022 ish. Something like that. It's been a while since Water's been on here, man. But Water, a very, very talented vocalist, producer, genre bending artist for sure, can do pretty much any genre. Has submitted Make It So Far by their new project Leapfrog. So Leapfrog is Waterfall's newest project with a couple of other band members. And they submitted their brand new song Make It So. So let's see what we got here. I'm definitely down. So we got Spotify, Apple Music, titles. This on third Deezer. Okay. Let's go YouTube, man. Let's go YouTube. I'm down. Oh shit, it starts off hot. Okay. We gotta get ready. Alright. Go 720, full volume, 9 days ago. Make It So, Leapfrog, Waterfalls. Let's get into it. Wow. Holy shit.
Take your mind. Make it happen. Change your mind. Make it so. You're always looking. You're looking for a quick fix. TikTok with no difference. The only thing to know. They realize and grow. Make it so. Make it so.
Wow. Damn. Okay. Okay. Holy shit. Wow. You know, we don't get too much like real like DIY hardcore on the show. We get a lot of like other adjacent genres, but this is the first time we've had some like real hardcore shit. Wow. I'm impressed. That was fantastic. Everything from the mix down to the art, man. Shit. Okay. All right. Let's break it down. Let's talk about it. All right. Hmm. Okay, so we're gonna talk about three things. We're gonna talk about the instrumental, we're gonna talk about vocals, and we're gonna talk about the overall theme of "Make It So." Um, New joint for me in the gang was the caption, by the way. So, um, hmm. All right, let's talk instrumental. Waterfalls is a very, very talented engineer and producer. So I'm kind of not shocked that this mix is like fucking fantastic when it comes to the instrumental. Absolutely zero gripes on this at all. Um, Nothing clashing too overbearing. No sounds that really stick out to me. Everything's right where it needs to be. Clear, clean, crisp, straight to the point. Still has that grit feel to it, but it's nice and tight as well. Like the mix is very tight. So no gripes, to be honest with you. Definitely no gripes. I think they all did a really good job with this mix, and I think this mix is definitely right where it needs to be, especially for this style, right? Because sometimes this style or any style with like a lot of live instruments or live instrumentals can be a bitch to mix sometimes, especially like when it comes to like heavier vocals as well. But this one is right where it needs to be for sure. So, uh, no gripes here when it comes to the instrumental at all. Um, hmm. Instrumental Shining Star. You know, I love a lot of the guitars here. I love the melodies. But I think the structure was something that was really cool about this because it was kind of unexpected. Like a lot of the structure is like very unexpected and very like it has this roller coaster kind of feel. Like sometimes like when it drops off, it kind of catches you off guard, or when the vocals come back in, it's like wait a second, you know what I mean? So it's one of those structures that is it's not like experimental or anything like that, but it definitely takes like hard left turns where you don't expect it, and I feel like it's a fun song to listen to. You know what I mean? Like it's a real fun song to listen to. So as far as the instrumental goes, I'm gonna say structure for sure, but the melodies were definitely a close second. So definitely structure for the instrumental. Let's talk vocals. Vocal mix is again fantastic, especially for more of this like hardcore, like heavier kind of vocal style. Again, these aren't exactly the easiest thing in the world to mix, so you know you could have like a hard time doing it, or sometimes it just pops out and you're like, wow, that was fucking fire, and that was like stupid fucking easy, right? But as far as this track goes in the vocal mix, absolutely fantastic. Wouldn't change a thing, to be honest with you. Nice and loud, clean, crisp, clear, but not like overbearing at all. They're not drowning out the instrumental. The instrumental isn't drowning out the vocals. You know what I mean? I have no real gripes with this, to be completely honest with you. So, yeah, absolutely fantastic. Absolutely fantastic when it comes to the vocal mix, for sure, my friends. Um, So instrumental solid, I would definitely say the structure is the shining star. Vocal solid. Mix is great. Vocal shining star though. Vocal shining star. Hmm. You know, I kind of like the hook. I kind of want to say the hook. I was gonna say the writing, but like the hook is so well performed and like so believable that it's just like I don't know. I like you almost kind of have to go with the hook. You know what I'm saying? Um, yeah, yeah, man. Let's go with the hook. I like the hook a lot on this. I feel like the hook would be something that you know it's gonna make a listener come back for sure. So instrumental solid, definitely structure. Vocal solid, definitely the hook. The stock theme, aesthetics are fantastic. I love whoever did this art. It has this like vague like frog vibe to it, right? Like you could see a little bit right there. And you could see like a little bit right there and a little bit right there, like top left and right, and then bottom left. You could see like slight like frog inspiration aesthetically, but I feel like it has that like collage, like magazine cutout feel to it as well. So it's kind of hitting like a lot of feelings for me. But I feel like they did a really good job, you know, especially for like a single. I feel like this really works, especially for a single. Um, and the color palette as well, right? I mean, the green, the white, the black, the yellow from the notes. Yeah, it's just a really solid cover to me, especially for like this style for sure. Aesthetics on point, definitely. Um, overall theme. I mean, I wouldn't even like go as far as like a theme. I would say this is more of like a statement, right? And much like this style of music is like a lot of it is like a statement rather than like about something. It's more so just like they're stating X, Y, or Z. You know what I mean? So this is one where you kind of like get a very like high octane intense vibe right off the rip. So again, you kind of understand where they're coming from, and it's a very like serious song when you really like break it down, you know, and you really start to like give it a couple more listens back, and you're like, wait a second, you know what I mean? I could totally see that being this kind of song as well. So I feel like they did a good job, kind of like establishing like their um kind of energy, you know what I mean? Because I do believe this is a whole new crew, you know what I mean? This is a whole new crew for sure. I mean, they have one song out, and it's this one. So that's how you know it's like they're really starting out. So I thought this was like a really good like starting point. It's very palatable first song, you know. So well done from the homies at Leapfrog, man. Awesome, 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 awesome. Make sure you go sub to their topic channel on DistroKid. We're gonna go drop a sub over there. I think that'll be like their first sub. So a huge shout out to Leapfrog. And of course, make sure you go follow Waterfalls on Twitter, man. Water is a long-standing homie of mine, and we need to get him to 600. So go show Water some love on the Bird app. They're 5 followers away from 530. So go show them some love over there, my friends. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every single episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. And of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. We're approaching 290 subscribers, literally 290. We upload 2 times a week, every Thursday, every Saturday. Full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, and a whole lot of good jazz over there, man. So go show these artists in the channel some love. And you already have. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We appreciate you here at Mondays. You're all wonderful, beautiful human beings for supporting the channel. Road to 300 continues, man. We're on the road to 290 now, so let's fucking get it, baby. So we left off with the homie Waterfalls. That was a pleasure to have the homie back on the show. That was fantastic. It's been fucking forever since Water's been on the Music Mondays. Definitely been a while for sure. Okay, so up next we got the homie, the Single Digits, man. I think we heard from them like a couple weeks ago, and they had quite the visual out. They put out quite the fucking visual. It was actually fantastic. Um, but this week, they resubmitted another track titled "An East Coast Sunset." Well, being from Massachusetts, that's fantastic. So I'm down for an East Coast Sunset, man. So the Single Digits, obviously being a very very talented alternative artist. Um, wow, an East Coast sunset. Hmm, I'm kind of intrigued. I'm kind of intrigued. Let's see what we got here. That's fire. That is a fantastic fucking photo. That is fire. Um, New song off upcoming album Saturday Night Fever. Okay, okay, the single digits. All right, I'm down. Let's get into it. The single digits, and East Coast Sunset. Let's go. Got a little twang to it, I see. A little twang on that thing.
Ever wanna lose the thoughts in your own head? Think of something other than what you regret. An East Coast sunset is just an hour away. Provides a gentle breeze to help you dance and sway. Whispers tell you of the lost and better days. You never know what the night will provide, but I promise in the end, this moment will never come again. You ever wish you could go back and rewind to that special
Okay.
moment in your mind? An East Coast sunset is just an hour away. Provides a gentle breeze to help you dance and sway. Whispers tell you of the lost and better days. You never know what the night will provide, but I promise in the end, this moment will never come again. When the night sky turns on all its lights, let you breathe and leave it all behind.
When the night sky turns on all its lights.
An East Coast sunset is just an hour away. Provides a gentle breeze to help you dance and sway. Whispers tell you of the lost and better days. You never know what the night will provide, but I promise in the end, this moment will never come again. This moment will never come again.
Huh. Okay. Well done. It did have that like East Coast kind of summer feel to it. I won't lie to you, Chief. It kind of did. It kind of did. I didn't know what to expect, right? So kind of wanted to like leave an open mind when it comes to like a track like this. You know what I mean? But it does have that like beach feel to it. It definitely does. Well done. Okay, so let's talk about it, man. I love that cover art, by the way. It seems like the single digits has really stepped up their fucking their aesthetic game for sure. So, let's get into it. Let's talk about it. Let's break it down. So, we're gonna talk about three things here. We're gonna talk about the instrumental. We're gonna talk about vocals, and we're gonna talk about the overall theme of this track. So, let's talk instrumental. Fantastic. I love this melody. I love the guitar. Um, I love the sound selection. Pretty much everything in here is like really, really solid. But let's talk about the mix. Again, mix fantastic. The last few songs from the single digits have been like really, really fucking solid. So not really a shocker, but something you always want to point out, right? Especially as I said, like with that last track from Waterfalls, sometimes those mixes can be a bitch, you know. But this one here, absolutely fantastic. Definitely no gripes with this one at all. Nothing clashing to overbearing. Nothing that really like stuck out to me as like super off-putting at all. Especially with it being like such a clean mix and like structure. Nah, this is great. So instrumental mix solid. Um, Instrumental shining star. I mean, it's got to be the melody, no? I mean, like I love the sound selection, and the drums are definitely up there. Structure's up there too, but it's got to be the melody. Melody has this like beach nighttime esque kind of feel. So, for me, definitely melody for sure. Um, okay. So instrumental solid. Let's talk vocals. Vocal mix is fantastic. I love the single digits vocal mix. Whatever effects they use or whatever process they kind of use is always like really really solid to me. Um, Vocals sit nice, right? Nothing clashing to overbearing. Nothing that I would really say is like really sticking out here. Again, this is an artist who tends to let their like natural voice like really shine out. You know what I mean? So especially for this style as well, like you totally want your natural voice to shine here. Um, so with a little cleanup, little elbow grease, it came out solid in my opinion. And again, nothing clashy too overbearing, nothing that really like stuck out as off-putting. Vocals sit nice in the instrumental, drums cut through nicely. Yeah, nothing thinking back on it that I would change, to be honest with you. Really well done, really really well done. So vocal mix is solid. Vocal shining star. I mean, it's got to be the melody or the hook, because like the cadence and the hook is so catchy. Like I still have it in my head. Like it's got to be. I mean, writing's definitely up there, right? I mean, like the stars line was cool. The writing in the hook is really nice. But all in all, I would say the hook, just because it's catchy, it's memorable, it has like a good vibe to it. You know what I mean? So for me, it's got to be the hook, 100%. So instrumental solid, definitely the melody. Vocal solid, definitely the hook. Let's talk theme. Aesthetic. Um, Probably one of the best single digit covers we've ever seen. It might actually even be my favorite. I love the font that they chose. I love the background picture. It definitely has that like slight East Coast feel to it. I love the single digits logo at the bottom right. I mean, it's got everything you'd want, especially for like a single. Fantastic, literally fantastic. Like I can't even believe how much they have upgraded their aesthetic game. It's actually like fucking amazing. Well done. I mean, that's so cool. It's actually a year old. I didn't even notice that. This sounds like some shit that fucking dropped yesterday. Holy hell. Well done, man. That's super sick. So obviously not super new, but not super old either. Only a year ago. Um, 19th of May actually of last year. So very interesting. But overall theme, obviously, an East Coast sunset, right? I think the single digits kind of did a good job, um, leaning into the visual aspects and putting them into words, right? But also having the delivery and the cadence of like a feel good kind of song. It's tagged surf rock, and I would definitely agree with that. I think surf rock or even alt rock or very much like softer kind of rock is very much the name of the game here, and I think the single digits did a really good job. Taking a theme like an East Coast sunset or even a feeling of an East Coast sunset and really doubling down on it is super super cool. So yeah, I feel like they did an amazing job with this, man. Well done, my friend. Huge shout out to the single digits. Thank you so much for the submission, my friend. Much love. Make sure you go follow the single digits on SoundCloud. We're gonna go drop them a follow. They are 3 followers now, away from 20. So go fucking show them some love on SoundCloud, man. God damn it. Of course, make sure you follow the single digits on Twitter as well. They are 10 followers away from 500. That is a fantastic milestone. That is super super fucking cool. So make sure you go show the single digits some love on Twitter. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every single episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. And of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. We're approaching 290 subscribers. We're on the road to 300, man. So make sure you go sub to the channel. We upload 2 times a week, every Thursday, every Saturday. Full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, underground tips and tricks, and a whole lot of good jazz over there on the channel. So make sure you go show these artists in the motherfucking channel some love, man. Let's get it, baby. Well, let's go. Alrighty, my friends. Let's see here. So we left off with the homie. The single digits, man. But up next we have Industrial One. Wow, it's been a while since we heard from Industrial One, man. I think it's been like a couple months or so since we heard from Industrial Man. But Industrial One, a very, very talented music producer, has submitted a track titled Delay. Let's pop this open and see what we got here, man. Let's pop this open and see. I'm down, man. I'm down. Here. Delay H2 8v4 in time. I believe. Have we reacted to this before? We definitely have reacted to this before, I think. But just out of safety, we'll give it a reaction just because it's been definitely a couple months. But I think I think we have. I'm pretty sure we have. But regardless, let's get into it. Industrial One Delay. Counter melody's cool. Hmm. Some real film score shit here, man. Definitely really could be a movie score though. Definitely could be used for a soundtrack. I could just feel it. You know what I mean? It has that like eeriness to it, man. I'm unaware if we had reacted to that before, but we're gonna break it down right here though for you once again. So, we're gonna talk about two things because obviously no vocals. We're gonna talk about the instrumental. We're gonna talk about the overall theme of Delay. So, instrumental. I mean, the mix. Obviously, we only have two melodies here, right? So the mix is obviously very clean. But again, when it comes to the instrumental itself, you have a very like mean and like ambient kind of like a Rhodes or something, like a very interesting kind of piano here. Um, I think what really does it for the instrumental here is the effects, right? So a lot of the delay, much like the track title delay. Some of the reverb is great. I think the counter melody is great, but it's all mixed together really pleasantly. It's definitely mixed like in a very like um medium kind of style, right? Like nice hitting the middle, clean, clear, not too loud, not too underwhelming. So I feel like the mix was solid. Um, Instrumental Shining Star. I mean, it's got to be the counter melody. I like the counter melody a lot. It brought this like demonic, dark kind of side to it, right? Because I mean, like the first one with the delay is pretty like ominous, but the counter melody here is super fucking solid. That one definitely has like a lot of energy to it, if you will. So for me, definitely the counter melody, 100%. Um, or the second melody, whichever you want to call it. Um, so the instrumental solid, definitely the counter melody. Let's talk theme, aesthetics. So I've definitely reacted to a similar cover to this by Industrial One. There's definitely something on Bandcamp or something similar, right, where they'd use this very interesting like old school style mixed with like modern like collage esque kind of feel to it, right? Like this one has like a whole interesting kind of setup here because you can somewhat make out like a building or something in the background, but then you have just this big figure in the middle and it's cropped with like a red background. It's a very interesting kind of piece here. It's very abstract, but it also, again, it's one of those pieces where like the more you look at it, the more you're kind of seeing and you're just like, shit. You know what I mean? So great for a project here, especially for a 4-track EP. Definitely super solid. Um, so it looks like they're using like slightly different edits for them as well. Hmm. Very, very interesting. Very, very interesting. Um, hmm. But yeah, back to the abstract project. I would say that this is solid, especially for a project. But I mean, of course, as you could tell, it's kind of going along the lines of um, the rest of their tracks, really. And it looks like they've actually been putting out music again, which is super, super cool to see. You know, I love when producers kind of continue to explore that side, right? And that's fantastic. But yeah, as far as the EP goes, super super solid, simple, minimal, gets the job done, right? So, aesthetics on point. Overall theme, I mean, the title delay is quite literally obviously from the delay used in the track. You know what I mean? The piano has a lot of delay effects on it, so I assume that's where Industrial really wanted to kind of take the direction, right? So, um, pretty much easy to feed and easy to figure out theme there, you know? Something super simple. So, well done, my friend. Well done. That was a blast from the past. So, I would definitely like to hear a lot of your newer um tracks as well. Definitely keep submitting, my friend. But with that said, huge shout out to Industrial One. Make sure you go follow Industrial on Spotify. And of course, make sure you go follow Industrial on Twitter. They are approaching 12K on the Bird app, my friends. They are approaching 12K. So go show them some love over there on Twitter. Of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every single episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. And of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. We're approaching 290 subscribers, so I upload 2 times a week, every Thursday, every Saturday. Full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, a lot of good stuff is up there on the channel. And of course, if you already have subscribed, thank you, thank you, thank you. We appreciate you here at Music Mondays, my friends. Let's fucking get it, baby. Oh man, let's go. Okay, so we're about halfway through the show, so you guys know the drill. Time for a quick commercial break. I'm gonna need all you to get up, go stretch, go get a snack, maybe go take a smoke break, go walk the dog, go do whatever you gotta do. And when we return, the Music Mondays podcast, episode 183, will continue our submissions. Don't go anywhere. Let's get it. And much, much love to everybody who's tuning in and showing fucking love to the Music Mondays podcast, baby. Let's go. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back here live with the Music Mondays podcast, episode 183. Let's continue on. Let's get back into some community submissions, man. Let's do this. All right, so we left off with the homie Industrial One. Up next is the homie Offspring Mysterious. A very, very talented, multi-talented creative. Submitted a YouTube video titled Cursed Love. Now, the last few edits that Offspring has been putting out have been fantastic. So I have no doubt that this one will kind of push the bar. Just because Offspring has just been putting out some insane, insane edits, man. But again, Offspring, a very talented producer, designer, editor, engineer, a writer, the whole nine, man. This motherfucker does it all. But like I said, they submitted a brand new upload called Cursed Love. Got a huge description, excellent. Fallen God Kingdom or Fallen God New Kingdom was used. SoundCloud, Instagram, Twitter, Patreon. All the good jazz is in the description. Well, let's get into it, man. Offspring Mysterious, Cursed Love. Full screen, 720. Let's go. Okay. A rainy day out. The cropping is insane on that. Oh shit, a baddie in the kitchen? No shot. No shot. Wait, what happens next? Baddie in the bedroom? Ah. Okay. Okay. We're gonna have to refer to the description for this one because this one's very interesting. Very, very interesting. No, I've got to being love. When a succubus loves you, she's using your lust to drain all of her energy. Once she's finished with you, and on to another one. Turns out, when a succubus really falls in love with his victim, it grows weak with time. Oh, I feel dizzy as a last resort. I took it too. Wow. Okay. Yeah. So a lot of these descriptions, man, are like full blown stories behind a lot of these videos, which is fucking insane. This one here gave me such a feeling of like I wanted to know what happened next kind of deal. So I feel like Offspring is really diving into like their true um cinematic skill, right? Because this one there was a lot of like anticipation. Like I was ready to see like what happens next kind of thing. You know what I mean? I feel like Offspring did a good job with this one, kind of building up a lot of these smaller shots. You know, to like you're like, wait a minute, baddie in the kitchen. Oh shit, on the bed, and it's just kind of like okay, like we start to see the vision a little bit. So this one, simple, straight to the point, but also again, like the concept is really cool. Like I think that's one thing you can never understate about Offspring is like a lot of their concepts when it comes to this kind of thing is always super, super fucking cool, man. Like Offspring really like goes above and beyond now to like really think out these videos. You know, like because like the older videos were great concepts too, but as Offspring like matures as an artist and you grow, you start to come up with the, deeper and better and more complex topics and concepts, and you're just like, oh shit, you know what I mean? So I think that's the thing here with this one is like simple, straight to the point, but the concept is really what's carrying here. I really feel like the concept is what's totally carrying, and that's something that I think is really sick. So I would say shooting star for this one, and kind of the thing that really sticks out to me is again the concept. Like I'm continuing to find myself really enjoying Offspring's concepts when it comes to like a lot of these newer videos, right? Especially this one. This dropped on the 16th of July. So not even a week old, right? So this is one where I feel like again Offspring cooked this up, but it's like one of those spur of the moment ideas that comes out well. Much like making music, right? Like a lot of your favorite songs or a lot of the best songs that you make are some shit that you just make in like spur of the moment kind of like sessions, you know what I mean? Like sometimes those ideas that you work on for like 3 hours are kind of ass, and then like the thing that you work on for like 30 minutes is like absolutely fucking gas. You know what I mean? So that totally is like a very common thing, you know? So I would say Shining Star here is definitely the concepts. I feel like Offspring did a really good job kind of thinking this one out, especially for like short form, you know what I mean? So well done, my friend. Well done. Make sure you go show Offspring some love on YouTube. They're 5 subs away from 230. So go show them some love over there on the tube. And of course, make sure you follow Offspring Series on Twitter. They are 4 followers away from 910 W milestone. Let's fucking get it, baby. Of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every single episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. And of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. We're approaching 290 subscribers. We upload 2 times a week. Road to 300, men. Road to 300. New podcast episodes, exclusive segments, whole lot of good stuff gets uploaded there literally every single week, twice a week, every Thursday, every Saturday. So again, go check out the channel. Go show the channel some love. Go show these artists some love. And if you already have, thank you. We appreciate you here at Music Mondays, my friends. Let's fucking get it. So we left off with the homie Offspring Series. Up next is the homie Heavy Metaphors, which you'll see us working with Heavy and Heavy Metaphors crew on Music Mondays relatively soon. So stay tuned for a surprise. But Heavy Metaphors is a very, very talented producer. Submitted a track titled Plunder, prod Heavy Metaphors. Plunder is a term it's so crazy. Like plunder, like I always think of Warzone for some reason. I just remember like peak Warzone pandemic era and the plunder shit, dude. Like that, I always think about that. Always fucking think about that. Sunset Muse full instrumental EP on SoundCloud now. Very sick. Okay. Let's go 720, that's fine. Full volume, that's fine. Alright, let's get into it. Heavy Metaphors, Plunder, let's go. Okay. Day rates are crazy on this, man. Okay. Solid. Like to switch up. Crazy. I like the 808 choice, and like Heavy Metaphors has such a good sound selection taste. Like a lot of the sounds that they use for their instrumentals are so like they're so different, but they all work so well together. You know what I mean? Like I really feel like it's one of those like just fits right. You know what I mean? It just fits right. But we're gonna talk about two things here because obviously no vocals. So we're gonna talk about the instrumental and we're gonna talk about the overall theme of Plunder. The alternate title, I don't want you to drown. That's actually fire as fuck. Don't want you to drown. Yeah. I think a lot of these tracks had like all titles. Um, but yeah, let's talk instrumental. Mix, absolutely fantastic for sure. Nothing clashing too overbearing at all. Nothing that I thought was like really overpowering or anything like that. I didn't think anything was sticking out at all. Like I said, sound selection's good. Nothing super clashy. Drums are good. Everything cuts through nicely. Everything kind of has their own space. Nothing that I would say is like off-putting at all. So, the overall mix very solid. Um, instrumental shining star. Hmm. Hmm. Instrumental shining star. Um. I really was trying to not say the drums, but I really love the drums on this. Like everything down to the sound selection, the patterns, 808 in specific is like really fucking solid. The 808 is such like a leader in this song that kind of hard for me to not pick the drums. So for me, definitely the drums, no doubt. But the structure's a close second, I would say. Structure's definitely a close second, but the drums is just like, come on. You know what I mean? So drums, definitely. Okay, so instrumental solid. Let's talk theme. Aesthetics. I spoke a little bit about this gift the last time that we had reacted to Heavy. I think it was like last week. Um, and again, this is one where it's like super solid, man. Like you don't have to do much to like have supporting content for a lot of your songs, right? It takes 2 seconds to like whip up a nice visual like this, and especially this one has like the perfect like the perfect like aesthetic to not only Heavy's music but just like the project itself, right? A lot of the track titles, it has this like ambient kind of feel to it. So visually and aesthetically, I think this is fantastic. I spoke a little bit about this visual the last time, like I said, but still think it's very solid and definitely fits like a full like EP kind of feel to it. So aesthetics definitely on point, definitely on point. Overall theme. So Plunder, I mean, it definitely has like this like high octane kind of feel to it, right? It has this like somewhat like dance ish like dance trap pop trap kind of deal, like it has a couple of feels going on to it. So I don't know, you could kind of land this in a couple different categories, but when it comes to like Plunder or even the all title of I don't want you to drown, like totally fits the bill, man. Like it just feels original, right? But it feels also very personal as well. You know what I mean? I love producers that make their tracks very personal, and it's not just like blah 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 type beat, blah blah blah, proud heavy metaphors. You know what I mean? No, like this is like an actual thought out track. You know what I mean? So it has some substance to heavy more than it does like I guess the listener, and that's like for the listener to kind of wonder about, and that's what makes it really cool listening to producers because you always get to wonder like what exactly is the, like the thought process behind certain shit. You know what I mean? And you're just like, there it is. You know, so very vague kind of approach, but it's still very personal at the same time. So very cool, man. Very very cool. With that said, huge shout out to Heavy Metaphors. Thank you so much for the submission, my friend. Much love. Make sure you go follow Heavy Metaphors on YouTube. They are 10 subs away from 140. We'll show them some love on the tube. And of course, make sure you go follow Heavy Metaphors on Twitter. They're approaching 1.2K on the Bird app. So make sure you go show them some love over there too. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every single episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. Of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. We're approaching 290 subscribers, my friend. We upload 2 times a week, every Thursday, every Saturday. Full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, a whole lot of good jazz over there on the channel. So go show these artists in the channel some motherfucking love, man. Let's get it. And if you already have, thank you. We appreciate you here at Music Mondays, my friends. Let's fucking go. So let's see here. All right, we left off with the homie Heavy Metaphors. Up next, we have the homie I Say. Now, this is a very, very, very talented alternative hip hop artist. They've been submitting pretty consistently in 2024. So I'm definitely excited to see what they've been up to. They submitted a track titled "Backstage" with the homie Sean once again. So let's see what we got here. I'm down. I am absolutely down. So we're back again with the homie I Say, Sean. Let's see what we got here. Backstage. This came out on July 9th, so very, very new. Let's get into it.
Hold up, bitch, I'm talking. Hold up, bitch, I'm talking. Hold up, bitch, I'm talking. Yeah, she know me that my name is Sean. Now she wanna be with me and she wanna fuck. Yeah, I'm in backstage and I fuck that bitch. Yeah, I had a threesome with Icy. Yeah, no, wait, I had a foursome with Icy. I probably fuck a bitch and a foursome. Yeah, this nigga are so long. Yeah. And these bitches are on my dick, yeah. Hold up, bitch, I'm talking. Hold up, bitch, I'm talking, yeah. Come be with me, yeah. Let me fuck you on the, yeah. I remember when I was 7, yeah. I was so horny, now I get all the bitches. I was so horny, now I see all the shit. I was so horny, now I see so much pussy, yeah. I make songs for girls, yeah. I make songs for cool girls. I make songs for bad. These, yeah, hold up, bitch, I'm talking. Hold up, bitch, I'm talking. Will you be with me? Yeah. Now she's talking. Now she left me alone. Yeah, now she's talking. Now she's so mad. Yeah. Now she's talking. Now she wanna have a feeling on me. Yeah.
Damn.
Now she wanna feeling on me. Feeling on me.
Shut the fuck, I'm talking, ayy. Say up, ayy. Those no blood streams, ayy. All the real shit, ayy. Not a robot, ayy. Say you're in your lens. Say you're in your shit. I'm the earliest, I'm the, ayy. Is it you? Girl, you know it's true. Singing on stage like for Melanelli do. Like the Melly Finale do. Like the Melly Finale do. Is it you? It's all that after all the tune, ayy.
Beat is crazy, bro. Yeah, that is just wow. Okay. Much to talk about there for sure. All right, let's break this one down, man. Let's talk about it. So, we are gonna talk about 3 things. We're gonna talk about the instrumental, we're gonna talk about vocals, and we're gonna talk about the overall theme of Backstage. So, let's see here, man. All right. Let's talk instrumental. So first off, I love the choice. The instrumental choice is absolutely fantastic. This is one of those instrumentals that's just like, yeah, no, the drums just fucking carry. You know, it has this like demonic kind of like dark flavor to it. It's just a really solid choice. You know, it has that like unique like alt trap sound too, right? Like definitely like not really plug, but it just has this like alt trap sound that's just like super dark and like super just has a crazy feel to it. But yeah, I love the choice. Let's talk mix. Instrumental mix. So, fantastic. Nothing clashing too overbearing. Nothing that I would really change, to be honest with you. Sound selection's great, drums are great. Everything's nice and level. Nothing that I would, ultimately have a gripe with, to be honest with you. Especially the 808s. Great. Patterns are great. Nothing that I would switch up here at all, to be honest with you. Really, really well done. So the mix is solid, right where it needs to be. Instrumental shining star. Probably the drums, man. I mean, the drums really fucking carried here. The melody had definitely like that dark, ominous kind of feel to it, but the drums were just super, super fucking solid. Especially the pattern in the drum selection itself, really fantastic. I think drums carried here. So instrumental solid, definitely the drums. Let's talk vocals. Vocal mix pretty solid. I mean, especially for like what they were going for, right? Like for this kind of like certain style, you want your mix to be way more processed than usual, right? So you kind of want to go like above and beyond to like really get like the full extent out of a vocal mix like this. So I wouldn't say it was like too over the top. It's definitely right where it needs to be for this kind of like cipher freestyle kind of turn up track, because we've heard a couple tracks in this style from this duo. This isn't the only style that they do, but this is a style that they kind of have leaned towards more than once, right? As to where it's just this like almost like kind of gives you that like cipher feel to it, but it's like also like slightly like I wouldn't say experimental, but it's like very original and like very much like their own kind of thing, like it has a certain flavor to it. And I think that's one thing that's like very tippable about these two as a duo. Like you could tell they have fun making shit, right? Because they'll go from this to like the track that we reacted to a couple weeks ago to like another track like this to like another like interesting like way like way out of like left field kind of track in terms of like sound, so they're very versatile, you know what I mean? This is definitely like a very versatile duo for sure. um so yeah, with that said, the vocal mix is great because they tend to adjust their vocal mixes depending on what kind of style they're doing, right? But this mix is great. Nothing clashing, too overbearing, nothing that I thought was like really off-putting, because again, especially for this style, right? um Drums cut through nicely, vocals sit nice. Nothing that was like ultimately off-putting at all. Nothing that I would really change that much. Um, so yeah, definitely no gripes with the vocals. Vocal shining star. Um, probably the flow and cadence and delivery. I feel like it was a very like lazy flow, just kind of like chilling. Has this like very like kick back, like relaxed kind of feel a little bit too. Like it's not a very like turn up hype track, but the 808s and the drums really like bring the aggression as well. So that's what I do think is like really solid about this. You have like the best of both worlds, right? Because you can sit back and chill to this and smoke, and then you can also probably turn up to this. You know what I mean? Especially like with the instrumental. Like, so again, you're kind of getting the best of both worlds for sure. So you know, probably flow and cadence and delivery. As far as vocals go, for sure. So instrumental solid, definitely drums. Vocal solid, definitely the flow and cadence and delivery. Let's talk theme. All right. Aesthetics. Crazy ass cover per usual. The last few covers that they've used have been super fucking hard. I like this one a lot for like its minimal kind of look. Has this like fisheye camera lens kind of feel to it, except it's like tripled up at the top and you got one in the center. And like the color palette's great too, right? You have this like moss sea green kind of feel. Um, and then the rest is just all black in the background. Yeah, no, this is a very like unique kind of style. But I like a lot of their single covers, and this one kind of goes in that direction of like the darker kind of style, much like this track is too. More of like a dark instrumental, right? So I feel like this is a really good pick and a really good choice for sure. So aesthetics definitely on point. Um Overall theme backstage. I mean, kind of like leaning on that whole like fan groupie backstage kind of deal. Kind of reminds you of like rockstar shit too. Like how groupies would be like a super big thing back in the day, right? Or even, I mean, now they still are, but like there's not called that anymore, right? So it's like one of those things as to where, like, well, I mean, I guess they are, but you just don't see it as much. And yeah, it definitely leans on that kind of topic, and then they're both able to like double down and really like right around that topic, but not like make the whole track about that. You know what I mean? So I feel like they did a good job kind of taking like a simple theme and approach and really doubling down on it, right? And just seeing how far they could take it as far as like writing goes, or even just like this cipher freestyle kind of vibe too. So, um, again, a very fun song from a fun duo for sure. So, well done, my friends. Well done. Huge shout out to Sean, and I say thank you so much for this, friends. Make sure you go follow them on Spotify, and of course, make sure you go follow I say on Twitter as well. They're approaching 1.1K on the Bird app, so go show them some love over there on Twitter. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode, and every single episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube upload. And of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. We're approaching 290 subscribers. We upload 2 times a week, every Thursday, every Saturday. Full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, and a whole lot of good jazz over there on the channel. So make sure you go show the channel and these artists some love, man. And if you already have, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. We appreciate you, my friends. I'll fucking get it. So we left off with the homie. I say up next is the homie Survival, aka Survival Indicativity, aka Sin. This week they submitted a track titled "We Got That." Medicine Series 4. Oh shit. Rally for Reality, Sin and True Thoughts, We Got That. Medicine Series 4 from our first compilation, The Vault Mixtape Part 1. Collection of old Lucy's over industry beats recorded between 2006 and 2012. This is over Raw Life, Ford Exchange, so let it go. Alright, so we're back with another track from Sin, and it's another classic remix. So we're going back to the archive, and I'm down. I'm absolutely down going back. Let's go. Alright. We're going to pop this open a new tab of Rooney. Vault Mixtape Part 1, We Got That. Medicine Series 4. Let's fucking go.
Yo, simple process. Wake up in the morning, thinkers digest. First thing in my head is the beat for making progress.
Holy shit.
Before I get my body, I gotta get my mind dressed. Collective vibe, I gotta try to relinquish my stress. Never time pressed. Steady rhythm, I'm at my best. Optimism focused on anything that defines blessed. Never mind left. It's an eyes on a process that sits in my chest. Never stops, never tries rest. And now the mess in the world can change it. Keeps me laying down the statements in the third-story basement I'm headed to now. Crossing cracks in the pavement to push the profession that'll make us a little famous. That's what the aim is, be it globally or locally. Long as we keep somebody listening notably. We the hopeless, leaving hope for the future vocally. And host the week leave behind something people supposed to see, right? Simple process. Eyes on the process. Never stop, keep somebody listening. First thing in my head is the beat for making progress. Third story basement. Eyes on the process. Never stops.
Yo, I'm kinda blind with the light in my eye. My nocturnal die leaving me with thoughts in my mind. Forget me not, set my nighttime inspired to write about the fright night. Lions and bears fighting the light, regaining sight from my blindness. I wish that shit was gone again, along with my hearing, chasing winds from my origin. Tatting every part of the 90s into my skin. Still inspired from the shit they was spitting when I was 10. Raw life, it wasn't flawless. Mistakes were even gorgeous. More or less, inspiration came from a track list. Back then, people were spitting just for the love. In the present, only spit about sex, money, and drugs. For the love, I invest in anything with a passion and cash in the second that money makes an advance to this magic, this craft I'm in. I am the evidence that music is the medicine. Crack rap is irrelevant.
Holy shit.
Just for the love. Inspiration came from a track list. Right in my eye. I'm inspired to write. I am the evidence that music is the medicine.
Good lord, man. Holy shit. Wow, they really fucking killed that, man. They really, really fucking killed that. Holy shit. Okay. Wow. All right, let's break this down. Let's get into it. Okay, so we are gonna talk about three things. We're gonna talk about the instrumental. We're gonna talk about vocals, and we're gonna talk about the overall theme of We Got That. So, much like the last time, these are all remixes, right? So you don't want to dive super hard into themes and things like that. This is definitely something you really want to appreciate for its quality, right? The writing, the flow, the cadence, the actual care that goes into these songs, right? So, okay. Instrumental. Instrumental mix, fantastic. I mean, again, it being kind of like a remix already makes this instrumental probably guaranteed to be solid when it comes to mix anyway. But you know how it gets when you're re-exporting and re-recording and redoing a lot of shit on certain beats and X, Y, or Z, you know what I mean? So it's a very like common thing to have trouble with that. But when it comes down to this, mix is fantastic again, man. Nothing clashing, too overbearing. Nothing that I would say is like ultimately hindering this song at all, especially when it comes down to the instrumental. Perfect level, nice and medium, crisp, clean, clear. Nothing that I would change, realistically. Nothing that I would change here. Vocals sit nice, drums cut through nicely. I mean, really no gripes. Really no gripes at all. Okay. Let's talk instrumental Shining Star. I like the drums. I like the drums on this one, but I feel like what would stick with me the most is probably the melody. I feel like the melody here is very, very like specific and very like classic and very catchy. This vintage kind of feel to it, right? Obviously those being older kind of instrumentals, right? It, like no shit, it has that feeling. But when you remix it, sometimes it loses that spark, but this one didn't, man. It still feels like a very classic kind of track. So for me, definitely the melody, 100%. Um, hmm. So instrumental solid, definitely the melody. Let's talk vocals. Vocal mix for both of Rally for Reality is fucking great. Especially this being one of the older tracks as well, right? I mean, nothing clashing to overbearing again. Nothing that I would like ultimately change about this one. Especially sometimes with these older tracks, right? Like sometimes the mix just gets fucking weird and things are just like off sometimes, right? When it comes down to um certain tracks. Sometimes the vocals can just get messed up and like lost in translation, but this one definitely didn't as well. Pretty much every track we've heard from this project has been really, really up to par. Really, really up to par. So I feel like both of their vocals are fantastic. Nothing clashing, too overbearing at all. Everything definitely cuts through nicely. Vocals sit nice. Nothing I would change when it comes down to the vocals, right? I mean, these are two artists that have a really solid natural voice, as pretty much we always talk about, right? So not too much you'd want to go crazy with there, especially with it being like such an older track, you know what I mean? It's just like, yeah, for what it is and like the era that it was like potentially recorded in, right? I mean, it could have been anywhere from '06 to 2012. Like that whole era is just very much like different, you know what I mean? So the fact that this mix is like as good as it is, is really so vocal mix very solid. Um Vocal Shining Star. Okay. Um, you know, Probably flow and cadence and delivery for both of them. The flow and the cadence and the delivery for everything here just made so much more emphasis on the lyrics, and it really brought everything together for like a classic hip hop style track. Like very, very classic style, very much like like organic, but like retro at the same time. So that's become like a common theme throughout this whole project. Like we've reacted to quite a few songs off of both of these projects, part one and two, and this one definitely has one of the more like well kept, like uptight, very much like centered, lockdown mix. Vocals were recorded insanely well. The flowy cadence was on point. The writing was on point. Like this one is very like well put together, like very well directed kind of track, right? So for me, definitely flow and cadence and delivery, no question at all. Definitely no question. Um, okay, so instrumental solid, definitely the melody. Vocal solid, definitely the flow and cadence and delivery for both of Rally. Let's talk theme aesthetics. I've spoke a fair bit about this cover, but for those of you that don't know, I'm definitely a huge fucking fan of this cover, just because you're calling something the Vault. You want to go above and beyond for it, right? I mean, like, come on, like this is one of those covers that's like, it's like you could tell they actually like put some thought and creativity into this, and especially with it being like it has the track list on it as well. I thought that was a really nice touch. Like, there's a couple small things about this that I really, really enjoyed. But it feels like a classic remix, remaster, um, kind of project. You know what I mean? Especially like the Vault, because it's like coming from the Vault. So um, I thought that this art was like really fucking well done, really, really well done. I've always been a fan of that one. Overall theme, we got that. I mean, it is a remix, right? So it's kind of like one of those tracks that you want to appreciate for the writing, flow and cadence, the lyrics, and really just appreciate the lyrical ability of both Rally for Reality. So That's one thing you definitely want to do here. I wouldn't look super deep on the theme, right, for any of these tracks, just because they are remixes, and again, it's more so a showcase of their lyrical and writing abilities, you know. So, well done, my friends. Well done. And make sure you go follow Rally for Reality on Bandcamp, and of course, make sure you go follow Sin on Twitter. They are one follower away from 410 or 11 away from 420. So go show them some love, man. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every single episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. And of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. We're approaching 290 subscribers. We upload 2 times a week, every Thursday, every Saturday. Full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, a lot of good jazz is available. So go show these artists on the channel some motherfucking love, baby. Let's get it. And of course, if you already have, thank you. We appreciate you here at Music Mondays, my friends. Much love to you. I see you guys dropping likes, dropping comments, all that good jazz. Much love. So, up next we have the homie Braden. Now, Braden has been dropping a shit ton of music in 2024. This is a very, very hardworking artist, and a very versatile vocalist at that. But this week they submitted a track titled Dairy. Oh, wow. Okay. Bonus track. I also dropped a 3-song EP on all plats. See, this is what I mean. Braden's been killing it, man. All right. Let's go see what we got here. A new Braden. I think this is like the last bonus track or one of the last tracks from their latest project. So let's get into it. Braden, Dairy, let's go. Okay. What the fuck? That was crazy. I can't even believe that's actually 1:30. That is nuts. That is definitely one of the craziest songs we've heard in a while from Braden. That is a big highlight for sure. Wow. Okay. So, much to discuss here, my friends. Let's talk about 3 things. We're talking about the instrumental, we're going to talk about vocals, and we're going to talk about the overall theme of this track. So, boy, oh boy. All right. Let's go instrumental. Such a unique instrumental. I love this choice out of these guys. This instrumental is actually fucking fantastic. Shout out Cloudy Morning. They did a really good job on this one. And it has this, like, drum, like alt pop, like, with a little bit, like, a jerk flavor to it. Like, it's a very unique style. You know, it's a very, very unique style. It's not something you hear a lot anymore. You know, so, this is a great job from them. Like, a really great job. Let's talk instrumental mix. Fantastic. Nothing clashing to overbearing. Nothing that really, like, stuck out to me as off-putting at all. Everybody's vocals sat nice. Drums definitely cut through nicely. Nothing that I would ultimately change when it comes to the instrumental. Like I said, drums are solid, sound selection solid, drum patterns are solid. Nothing that I would, like, really change on this, but yeah, I wouldn't touch a thing. Definitely, like, hits a nice middle ground and is right where it's supposed to be, for sure. So instrumental mix solid. Instrumental Shining Star. You know, I really like the melody on this. But also at the same time, I'm pretty big on the drums as well. I'm kind of torn. Kind of torn because the drums are really really solid, but the melody is very like rememberable and like they're very like high energy, right? It's very like up there when it comes to like rhythm and like just has a lot of energy to it, you know. Mm. No, if I'm being honest, probably the melody. I do like the drums, but the melody is just like so rememberable, bro. It's crazy. Drums are definitely a close second though. Okay, so instrumental solid, definitely the melody. Let's talk vocals. Vocal mix for both Braden and Visions is fucking fantastic. I feel like both of their voices go really well on this, especially like how they like to mix their vocals, right? Two different types of autotune, two different types of mixing, and I feel like they mix really well together. It gave me that early like classic like all pop like um kind of sound, you know, like all trap, all pop. It is such a good blend of styles here that I think they both mix really well on this. But both vocals are mixed great. Nothing clashing too overbearing, like I said. Drums cut through nicely. Vocals definitely sit nice on the instrument. I like both Vision Braden's like overall melodic kind of voices in this one as well. So I feel like this is a good duo, and they definitely need to expand on this style a lot, especially when it comes to this style of mixing for sure. Um, so the mix is fantastic. Vocal shining star. Um, hmm. You know, I really like the flow and cadence. Like everybody's like super melodic on this, but the writing's really up too. Like the writing is really, really up there. Kind of just fun writing, you know, and like fun like subliminal diss writing, but also like fun like get hype kind of writing as well. So it's like, you know, but both of their flow and cadences were great. Like the transition from Visions to Braden was just solid. Like really, really fucking solid. Probably flow and cadence and delivery. If I'm being honest, it's got to be flow, cadence, and delivery. Just because the transition, rhythm, it was just catchy, man. I think they both did a really really good job on this. Um, so instrumental solid, definitely the melody. Vocals solid, definitely the flow and cadence and delivery. Let's talk theme. Aesthetics. Again, I've spoke a little bit about this cover quite a few times actually, but each time I definitely want to keep breaking it down for anybody new, right? But when it comes down to this kind of style, it's like super sick for Braden to just like constantly switch styles. Because for those of you that have been around for a while, you've seen Braden kind of switch cover art styles a couple times over the course of like the last year or so, right? But lately they've been really diving into like this blue esque kind of style, and I think they really do a good job with it. Um, it's just like super super fucking solid. Like it's one of those things where they really like keep up the consistency with it, and this one really like just hit home, especially with it having that blue like kind of like eerie ghost like feeling, you know, and then the project sounding like what it sounds like. It's fucking sick. Like it's a real great like mix of styles, you know. So I feel like Braden does a really good job when it comes to their artwork, no matter what direction they go in, you know. But definitely project worthy as well, by the way. So aesthetics definitely on point. Um, Overall theme, I wouldn't say that there's like a super clear cut standout theme. You know what I mean? This is definitely one that's like very much for the lyrical ability, very much for the subliminals, very much for like the get hype, get money kind of feel to it as well. It's definitely like a get up and move kind of song. I could see this coming on at a small party, a show, something like that, and it would be fucking sick. So it's definitely one of those like I could see why it's a bonus track, but I could also see why like it'd be like one of the highlights of the project as well. So that's what I think is really cool about this one is like it's a fun, laid back, but also like very serious kind of track from Brayton. So I like the doubling down on this. You know what I mean? And really just having fun with it. You know, it seems so natural and like you just pick up on so much more when it's in like this style. I mean, Braden's had plenty of songs written in like certain themes and like about certain topics, but this is like more of like again like kind of like a cipher freestyle s kind of feel to it. You know what I mean? So I think Braden does a really good job like branching out in styles and really like trying to just push themselves as an artist, you know, and try new things and do new shit. You know, so this is definitely one of those songs that like is not only like just sound and like genre blending, but I think Braden just does such a good job with it. So well done, my friends. Well done. Make sure you go follow Braden on SoundCloud. Thank you so much for your submission, my friend. 10 followers away from 330, so go show him some love over there on the cloud. And of course, make sure you go follow Braden on Twitter. They are 8 followers away from 70. Go show them some love on the Bird app, my friends. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every single episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. And of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. We're approaching 290 subscribers. We're on the road to 300, man. We upload 2 times a week, every Thursday, every Saturday. Full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, and a whole lot of good jazz over there on the channel. So go show these artists on the channel some motherfucking love, baby. Let's get it. So that does it for Music Mondays episode 183, my friends. I gotta go get ready for a meeting. You guys know the drill. Let's say some thanks. Let's give some shout outs. Let's show some love. Let's talk about what's coming this week on Music Mondays and all that good jazz. So let's break it down. Let's talk about it. Let's chill for a second. So, with that said, huge shout out to everybody that submitted, tuned in, and showed motherfucking love tonight, man. Huge shout out to, first off, all of our Music Mondays Patreons, man. Huge shout out to, Jordan, Ryuki, Mark, Blank Thought, Kruger, and Dry My Eyes. You guys are fucking amazing. Thank you for being Music Mondays Patrons and supporting the platform. You guys are fucking amazing. Huge shout out to everybody that submitted tonight. Huge shout out to Dry My Eyes, Jordan. Huge shout out to Sam's Raps, Waterfalls, Single Digits, Industrial One, Offspring Mysterious, Heavy Metaphors, I Say Survival, Braden, Burnt Pixels, Care, Beyond Average, Maddie, Sonly, Onwuka, and everybody else that does not follow the Music Mondays on Twitter, man. Make sure you're following Music Mondays on Twitter before you submit your tracks, man. You don't want your tracks skipped here on the show, and that's the only thing we do ask, man. Make sure you're following the show on Twitter before you submit. All right, my friends. All right. So, what's coming on Music Mondays over the course of the next week or so? Let's get into it. So, I went over a lot of it at the start of the show. But for those of you that don't know, we are working behind the scenes on Cyberfest 2, which is our second URL virtual festival. So keep your eyes peeled for some details on that. I'll be reaching out to artists over the course of the next couple of weeks as we develop a lineup and a good date for everybody when it comes to that kind of thing. Music Mondays merchandise is still available right now, so if you'd like to get your Music Mondays basic logo t-shirt, definitely let us know. Send us a message. We still have smalls, mediums, and larges available. You'll see some promo for that go up this week as well. And of course, we'll be dealing with a whole lot of extra content when it comes down to some of our newer staff members and keeping up with our monthly and weekly content as well. So, per usual, you can expect this episode on all platforms this Thursday: Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, all that good jazz. Expect it on YouTube this Saturday as well. And of course, make sure you follow the Music Mondays podcast on Spotify, or just go check out all of our stores at anchor.fm/Music Mondays. All that stuff is in the description, or you can go find it on all of our socials as well. And of course, new everything this week. SoundCloud Sunday submissions open this Wednesday. Submissions open for episode 184 tomorrow. So make sure you follow Music Mondays on socials at All Music Mondays. Make sure you get your submissions in first. And of course, if you're watching this live, submissions will, like I said, be open tomorrow. If you're watching this anywhere else, submissions are already open. So make sure you check the date and go drop your tracks, my friend. So, outside of that, per usual, you can expect a brand new article this week and a couple more surprise announcements from the team. We're almost caught up on like a lot of our work, so between that and getting a couple new staff members settled, we had to make sure we had to lock in and get ready for the rest of the summer, man. You guys know the motherfucking drill. So, with that said, huge shout out to everybody that submitted. I already showed you guys some love. Thank you. Huge shout out to everybody that came through and showed love tonight in the chat. Huge shout out to anybody that lurked and chilled and all that good jazz, man. We peaked at like 10 tonight. Huge shout out to Sam's Raps. Huge shout out to Dry My Eyes. Anybody else that lurked and chilled, man. You guys are fucking fantastic. Thank you. And again, huge shout out to our Patreons. Huge shout out to all the Music Mondays community, man. Huge shout out to the Music Mondays staff. We're gonna have a good week this week, man. So let's fucking get it. Grind continues. Submissions will be live tomorrow for episode 184. Again, make sure you stream at Music Mondays on all audio platforms, anchor.fm/allmusicmondays. Follow us on socials at All Music Mondays, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Tumblr, TikTok, you name it, we're there. Go follow us on your favorite platform. And of course, make sure you follow me, Zomb Slays. Everything's linked below, socials, all the good jazz linked down below. I'm live like 5-6 days a week, man. We're always here chilling, chatting, shooting the shit, gaming, all that good stuff, man. So make sure you stop by. I'll be live tomorrow for a regular stream per usual, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And you can catch the Music Mondays podcast next Monday, episode 184, per usual at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. With that said, I love you guys. Take care. Be safe. We'll see you tomorrow, and we'll see you next week for episode 184 of the Music Mondays podcast. Stay tuned. Be safe. I love you guys. Take care, and I'll see you tomorrow.